everyone, welcome to this class. We're going to paint this fish. So I have a test piece, so my instructions are clear, and this is 2 layers, or 3 layers I should say. So what happens here is I wetted the paper, almost everything except this fin, and then except the background here. So why these areas stayed paper dry? Because when you take a look at the reference, this fin is it has a lot of light basically. And then I wanted to make sure that the face, the top of the head, has a lot of light too. So when I wetted the paper and the fish, I skipped this area, and then I did wet the head, but I didn't wet the background here. So everything I added here went just on the inside and nothing bled towards the back. This is our sketch, and this sketch is available for download for you. So I'm just going to stick at the beginning with the primary colors. So we have yellow, blue, red. Please don't worry about matching with any colors. It's not that important at all. It's all about light and shadows, because you can paint this fish in monochrome too. You can just use bright rose. You can use green color. You really do not need to have colors to paint the fish. Like you can just use black, for example, black ink or something. So that's the thing. It's all about light and shadows. But we're painting with watercolors and I'm using colors. So I'm using primary yellow, which is imidazzle yellow. Then I'm using like a yellow orange, which is iso yellow. Why iso yellow? Because it's transparent. It's nice and transparent. Imidazzle yellow is like semi-transparent, I'd say. Cobalt blue is like one of the main blues, and I just love it. Just love the shade of it. But if you want to go with a primary blue, go for it. You could go with ultramarine light. You could go with ultramarine deep. So this is my imidazzle yellow. Cleaning the brush. And then this is my iso yellow. So this iso yellow has been here already. So I'm just reactivating the color. And this is more like between heavy cream and cream top. But I'll stick to that, because actually once I apply the first colors, which is more like an imidazzle yellow than cobalt blue, quin red, that's when I'm going to start applying iso yellow. So I don't need this iso yellow to be really that diluted with water, more like a cream top. And then I have my beautiful quin red here. Now there's my cobalt blue. I grabbed a little bit of that. Now here's a note about mixing colors on the paper versus palette. So I suggest to mix your colors on the paper. And again, the fin is your choice if you want to wet it or not. You can use masking fluid or you can just avoid it. Now, if you do use the masking fluid, then you might as well wet the backside of the paper to have more time to apply the colors wet on wet. I'm almost ready to start applying colors wet on wet. I'm looking at the clock and I've been waiting for a few minutes now. Now, if there's like puddles of water, start pushing it off the sides. I'm going to start with the quin red actually in some of the yellow. So there's my quin red. And there's this imidazzle yellow. I'm not trying to mix these colors on the paper or on the palette, I'm sorry. It's more about mixing colors on the paper. But you will see like I still blend these slightly. It's just that I do want to see the separation of colors. So this is where I see like some orange and so on, right? I do have this red now here and yellow. It's like an orange. I'm going to apply it here, but my idea is actually to get that blue violet, which is my cobalt blue here, with some of the quin red. So those are the 2 colors. I'm going to go through here and grab actually a little bit of the yellow. So now we have primary colors, blue, yellow, red. So these are the fins here, right? I'm kind of waiting, staying away from the body right now here, because it's still, the paper's a little wet. This is actually the dry area. And just went over it. You know what? That's okay. I'm just going to apply this color because actually it is kind of like a yellow, I guess, red gray. And this is wet on dry. So I completely forgot I kept this dry. And then I'm going to grab more of the yellow. And then there's my blue violet. So the 3 colors together. And I'm just going for those fins. Now you can go beyond the sketch lines because those fins can be really pulled down there. So here, because it's drying, I want to start adding a little more color here. So this is the moment when, first of all, I want to clean the brush. Before I go there, I do want some of this yellow. So before I give up on the first layer here in the belly area, this is my ISO yellow. I'm just going to apply some ISO yellow here because I want to get towards the head, the face. Before that, I just want a little bit of yellow. The paper is drying, the ratio changes more and it becomes more like a cream top like ratio between water and paint, so I have more and more control. So I'm adjusting the ratio based on like how paper is drying, what I see. So this is more like the between heavy cream and cream top, and it is time for me to switch to a smaller brush. I'm gonna try to grab that. So cream top like ratio between water and paint. I'll show you what it is. I have like leftover here. I guess this is fine, but I need a little yellow too. And I'll try to add it right there. So this needs to be cream top, and I'm gonna pull it to the paint. Now this is a little too dry, so I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. And then what else can I do, right? Everything is drying. Like, can I really freely continue adding the paint? Not really, unless I want to do like a cream top like ratio in some areas, but that's not the time really, because right now, like, I just want to have this light layer. If you lift now, and let's say you forget next with the second layer, then at least you have something, right? However, with the second layer, we tend to lose these lifted lines. I still do it just in case, like, I go in a different direction. Let's say I just decide to keep these fins the way they are, or I only decide to apply colors towards the edges. At least I have some lifted lines. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm coming back to this painting actually the next day, so everything is 100% dry. So I think I was mentioning that the next step would be, for example, to paint these fins, and I think that would be like the fun part to do, because we just need to wet each fin, and then we're going to apply colors wet on wet, pretty much the same colors that we've used already, which is the red, yellow, blue, with an addition of let's say indigo and maybe some of the sap green. That would be nice too, to add it towards like the bottom. The reason there is a little bit of the indigo and actually sap green is only because of the background. That's because when you look at the background, you have that green, dark, kind of like, almost like black on in some of the areas. So now I'm going to grab some color. So this is the Queen Red I have here. Some of the imitation yellow. I'm actually going to start with those two. A little more yellow. If I want a little more yellow, I just grab a little yellow. I'm trying to grab this heavy cream like ratio between water and paint with the brush. Now when you go closer towards the edges, now that's when you start shaping. This is cobalt blue, Queen Red, and some of the yellow now. That's how when you start shaping the fin. So now you're going really close towards the edges of your sketch, and whatever the paint stops, that will be the edge of that fin. So that's why it's kind of like fun to do this right now, because we have those fins, but they're not like really defined yet, not yet. And here I'm going to grab a little more red, and then back to the cobalt blue with the round egg golden one. I'm going to grab a little bit of that indigo, like I said, a tiny bit of the sap green. And again, this is optional. You don't have to, because this would be coming from the background. And cream top, it's like between heavy cream and cream top like ratio between water and paint. That's what I'm applying. So the paint doesn't really spread much. I don't want the paint to spread that much. So rigor brush size 2. And this is what I want to create these lines. So that, and then lifting. So what I need for this is cream top like ratio between water and paint. That's because I don't want the paint to spread. So it has to be cream top. So this is drier paint that I'm grabbing. And then I have this drier cobalt blue, but I also want some of the yellow here, right? So these are primary colors, red, blue, yellow. I think I want a little more of that. That's more like it. And now I'm gonna go through to create these lines. So cream top like ratio. So when you have that ratio, the paint will not spread much, if at all. I mean, it will always spread a little bit, like tiny bit, because it's wet on wet. At least tiny bit, if not little, what I'm trying to say, because you are painting wet on wet. But you have control, and these lines are gonna stay. Unless we're using too much water now with our paint, then of course it will all spread. I'm gonna grab a little more. The ratio between red, blue, and yellow changes because right now I'm grabbing a little more of that drier cobalt blue paint to wet it, but I wipe my brush on a towel and I'm lifting again. So I'm able to lift just a little bit. I'm not gonna overlift it, like try to lift like if I was painting a cat, for example. We could use some of the, I'd say, yellow, red, and blue. So why not to wet it, including the eyeball, the black, I guess that's the eyeball. So we're gonna wet that too. I'm using a stiffer brush. I'm gonna switch to a different stiffer brush. I have blue, yellow, red, right? So I'm just gonna grab quickly that blend. I'm not trying to have these colors again mixed on my palette. That's not the case. I want these colors to actually separate. So a little bit up here. Now this right side should be lighter, but because of the way I applied the colors wet on wet when I wetted the whole thing, too much color bled a little bit there. So I'm just gonna make this a little more orange. So I just grabbed some, let's see, imidazzle yellow and quin red, so more like an orange. And then we're still not done with the eye itself because we need to shade it a bit. And that's gonna be like the bottom part right there. So yes, I should have more light there, but it's just the way colors spread. So I'm just gonna have to be okay with it. Now with the tip of my brush, I'm grabbing this cream top like ratio between water and paint, just the indigo. So this is indigo. I do want some of the indigo to bleed actually towards the left side, which is why I'm applying it now wet on wet. So that might surprise you. Why am I doing it now? Is because I do want to show that there's that indigo. When you zoom in onto this eye, and it's kind of like around that black ball, right? So that's the eyeball, I guess. You will see a little bit of the blue in there. So to make it look more natural, you want to have some of that indigo. And now, like I said, I'm going to grab this water-like ratio. So the ratio between water and paint, right? It's water-like ratio. And you know what? I'm trying to see like where is my sketch. So if you need to re-sketch it, go for it. I think it's about right. And then because earlier with that first layer, we placed a little bit of blue there. Now we have that little glow over there too. And then this is cream top like ratio between water and paint. Now, not all the areas are super dark. That's why I'm doing it this way. So I can place this color, the cream top, only in some areas. So it's kind of like I'm looking almost for that highlight. Just a little bit. If I can find it somewhere, that would be great. Just a tiny bit. So it's not like an even surface. So I zoomed out from this picture, from my painting, so you can see the whole thing. And I also zoomed out from my reference image. So not everything is just kind of concentrated on, like, let's say the eye, because I was just painting the eye. So this gives you an idea like how I went about like my test piece, which was no recording of the video. I kind of went fast about it. I just wanted to feel it out how I would paint a fish. I've painted koi fish before and some, I guess, a couple other like goldfish. I did paint a goldfish a long time ago, but nothing really. I guess I did paint dolphins before. I painted some whales, but never a fish like this. So it was fun to experiment a little bit to see how I would go about it. Now I'll tell you what I like about each, and if I could combine it, if I had the time to paint it again, I would do it. What I would do differently, so this is my favorite, right, overall. But if I was going to do this again, I would do the fins the same way as here. So I wouldn't add second layer to this fin right here, just the second layer over here on the top, because I like how delicate this is. And please let me know, as always, like anytime you have a question.